You've seen it before. That slight, almost imperceptible curve at the corner of his mouth, while everyone else is talking, posturing, trying to prove something. He's quiet, observing, calculating, and then it happens. That smile. Not the loud, attention-seeking grin of someone desperate for validation. No, this is different. This is the smile of a man who knows something you don't. A man who's 3 steps ahead while everyone else is still figuring out step 1. When a Sigma man smiles, it's not random, it's not casual, it's a signal, a quiet declaration that the pieces have fallen into place, that the moment he's been waiting for has arrived, and that what comes next will change everything. This isn't about luck or wishful thinking. This is about preparation meeting opportunity in the most powerful way possible. If you're a Sigma male, or you're on the path to becoming one, you already know that your smile carries weight. It's not given freely. It's earned through silent battles, through mastering yourself when no one was watching, through building something real while others were building facades. And if you want to understand the true power behind this expression, the psychology, the strategy, the sheer force of controlled intention, then you're in exactly the right place. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is your headquarters for Sigma male mastery. We don't do surface-level advice here. We go deep. We decode the patterns that make Sigma males the most formidable, independent, and strategic men in any room. And trust me, you'll want to be here for what's coming next. 1. The rare currency of a Sigma's smile. Most men smile dozens of times a day. At coworkers, at strangers, at their phone screens. These smiles are social lubricant, automatic, expected, meaningless. They're the price of admission to polite society, handed out like spare change to anyone who makes eye contact. But a Sigma male, his smile is different. It's rare, it's earned, and when it appears, everyone in the room feels it. Think about currency for a moment. The more of something that exists, the less valuable it becomes. Print too much money and you get inflation. Hand out too many compliments and they lose their meaning. The same principle applies to a Sigma's smile. He doesn't distribute it freely because he understands something fundamental about value. Scarcity creates power. When you smile at everything, you smile at nothing. When you reserve your smile for moments that truly matter, it becomes a statement. This isn't about being cold or unapproachable. It's about authenticity. A Sigma male doesn't perform emotions for social approval. He doesn't fake enthusiasm to make others comfortable. He doesn't wear a mask of constant pleasantness to fit in. Instead, he reserves his genuine expressions for genuine moments. And when that smile does break through, it's real. It's powerful. It's magnetic. Consider this practical example. You're in a business meeting. Everyone's pitching ideas, trying to impress the decision makers, laughing at the boss's mediocre jokes. The room is full of performative smiles, calculated, strategic, hollow. The Sigma male sits back, observing. He's not trying to be liked. He's not playing the game. He's studying the patterns, understanding the dynamics, waiting for his moment. Then someone says something, maybe a detail others missed, maybe a connection that suddenly makes everything clear, and there it is. That slight smile. Not forced, not performed, just real. And suddenly, everyone's attention shifts. They want to know, what does he know that we don't? That's the power of rare currency. When your smile appears so infrequently, people pay attention when it does. They lean in, they wonder. They respect the fact that you're not playing by the same social rules as everyone else. You're not trying to win popularity contests. You're operating on a different frequency entirely. The Sigma understands that his emotional expression is his own. It's not public property. It's not a tool for manipulation or a strategy for climbing social ladders. It's the natural overflow of internal alignment. When what he's worked toward, what he's prepared for, what he's been patiently building suddenly clicks into place. That's when the smile appears. Not before, not for show. Only when it's real. This is why people find Sigma males so compelling. In a world of constant performance, where everyone's curating their image and managing their brand, authenticity becomes revolutionary. And nothing signals authenticity quite like emotional restraint, followed by genuine expression. The Sigma doesn't give you his smile to make you comfortable. He gives it to himself when the moment deserves it, and you just happen to be there to witness it. 2. What happens in the mind before the smile appears. Before that smile ever reaches a Sigma's face, there's an entire universe of mental processing happening beneath the surface. While everyone else reacts in real time, driven by emotion and impulse, the Sigma's mind operates like a supercomputer, analyzing, calculating, cross-referencing every variable. Think of it as mental checkpoints. First, pattern recognition. The Sigma scans his environment for patterns others miss. He's not just hearing what people say, he's hearing what they're not saying. Watching body language, noting inconsistencies, tracking power dynamics. Second, probability assessment. His mind runs scenarios. If this happens, then that follows. He's not guessing, he's calculating based on observed behavior. This is why Sigmas often seem prophetic. They're understanding the present so completely that the future becomes obvious. Third, resource inventory. He's already catalogued everything at his disposal: skills, connections, knowledge, timing, leverage. He knows his cards and their value, not arrogance, accurate self-assessment. Fourth, risk-reward analysis. He's weighed potential outcomes, identified worst case and confirmed he can handle it, visualized best case and confirmed it's worth pursuing, mapped the most likely scenario and verified it aligns with his objectives. Practical example: a Sigma watches a major project fail for months in his company. He's noticed what everyone missed. The problem isn't technical, it's organizational. But his mind processes: will they listen if I speak now? What's my credibility? Is this the right battle? All of this happens in seconds. Only when every checkpoint aligns does that smile appear. Because now he knows the pieces have fallen into place. What's about to happen isn't hope, it's inevitability. This separates the Sigma's smile from everyone else's. It's not reactive or emotional. It's the physical manifestation of mental certainty, the external signal that internal alignment has been achieved. 3. The strategic silence that precedes action. Silence isn't empty for a Sigma male, it's loaded. While others fill every gap with nervous chatter, seeking validation through constant verbal engagement, the Sigma understands that silence is one of his most powerful tools. It's in the quiet spaces that he gains his greatest advantages. The world is drowning in noise. Everyone's talking, posting, broadcasting their every thought. People are terrified of silence because they mistake it for absence. But the Sigma knows better. While everyone else is busy talking, they're revealing everything: their insecurities, strategies, weaknesses, true intentions. And he's listening, really listening. This strategic silence serves multiple functions. First, it creates information asymmetry. When you're silent, people feel compelled to fill that silence. They talk more than they should. They reveal more than they intended. Meanwhile, the Sigma is collecting data, building a complete picture before he makes any move. Second, silence creates psychological tension. Humans are hardwired to seek social feedback. When you remain silent, when you don't react predictably, it creates discomfort. In that discomfort, people make mistakes. They overextend. They reveal their hand too early. Third, silence preserves energy and focus. Every word you speak costs something: mental energy, emotional bandwidth, time. The Sigma understands his resources are finite and valuable. He doesn't waste them on meaningless small talk. He conserves energy for moments that actually matter. Here's a concrete example. A major opportunity opens up at work, a project that could define careers. Immediately the office erupts. People politicking, forming alliances, making pitches, meetings about meetings. everyone trying to be the loudest voice. And the Sigma, he's quiet, not rushing to throw his name in, not making promises. Instead, he's watching, seeing who's aligning with whom, noticing which arguments gain traction, identifying what decision-makers actually care about versus what they say, spotting the gaps, the concerns not being addressed. Days pass. People wonder, is he even interested? Some interpret his silence as weakness. But then, at exactly the right moment, when the initial frenzy has died down and people realize all the noise hasn't solved anything, that's when he speaks. Not with a pitch, not with self-promotion, but with a clear, strategic solution that addresses the actual problem. Because he's been silent, because he hasn't wasted everyone's time with half-formed ideas, when he does speak, people listen. His words carry weight that constant talkers' words never could. This is the strategic silence that precedes action. It's not passive. It's not weak. It's gathering force. It's building pressure. It's creating conditions for maximum impact. When that smile appears during this silence, it's because the Sigma knows the waiting is over, preparation is complete, and what comes next is going to change the entire game. 4. When confidence meets preparation. There's a moment every Sigma male recognizes, a precise point when internal certainty crystallizes into external readiness. When confidence and preparation stop being separate qualities and fuse into something far more powerful, unshakable conviction. This is when that smile appears, because the Sigma knows with absolute clarity that he's ready. But let's be clear about what confidence means for a Sigma. This isn't loud, performative bravado that insecure men display to mask doubts. This isn't fake it till you make it mentality, requiring constant external validation. True Sigma confidence is quiet because it's earned. It's the natural byproduct of having done the work when no one was watching. Consider the difference. An amateur walks into a challenge hoping he's ready, trying to convince himself and others. A Sigma walks into that same challenge knowing he's ready, with no need to convince anyone. The amateur's confidence is a house of cards. The Sigma's confidence is a fortress, built brick by brick through countless hours of preparation, testing, and mastery. This preparation isn't random. The Sigma approaches development with an architect's precision. He identifies needed skills, breaks them into component parts, practices each element until it becomes automatic, stress tests himself under increasingly difficult conditions. He doesn't practice until he gets it right. He practices until he can't get it wrong. And here's what most people miss. This preparation isn't just technical. Yes, the Sigma masters hard skills, knowledge, techniques, tactical elements, but he also prepares mentally and emotionally. He visualizes scenarios, anticipates obstacles, rehearses responses to adversity, builds psychological resilience alongside practical capability. Here's a real-world scenario. A Sigma's been working toward a major career transition. Employee to entrepreneur. For 2 years, he's been preparing. Not talking about it, not posting motivational quotes, just quietly, relentlessly preparing, learning business fundamentals, building skills, creating systems, testing products with small groups, gathering feedback, saving capital, building genuine relationships, studying competitors, developing contingency plans, 2 years of working a full-time job while building something else in the margins, 2 years of sacrificing social life, entertainment, comfort, 2 years of waking up early and staying up late. And during this time, people around him moved faster, launching businesses with minimal preparation, making noise. Some experienced early success. He watched them, learned from their mistakes, incorporated lessons into his own preparation. Then the moment arrives. His preparation reaches critical mass, skills sharp, systems tested, financial runway secure, market understanding deep, mental game unshakable. That's when the smile appears. Not when he quits his job, not when he launches, but before. The smile appears when confidence meets preparation, when he knows with absolute certainty that he's ready, that what comes next is going to work because he's made it impossible not to. This is what separates Sigma males from dreamers. Dreamers have confidence without preparation. It's delusional. Careful planners have preparation without confidence. They never pull the trigger. But the Sigma, he has both, perfectly balanced. His confidence isn't blind faith, it's the logical conclusion of thorough preparation. When you see a Sigma smile with this quality, calm, certain, almost serene, you're witnessing the convergence of hundreds or thousands of hours of unseen work. You're seeing the external manifestation of a man who has earned his moment, who has prepared so completely that success isn't hoped for, it's expected. And that expectation isn't arrogance. It's mathematics. It's the natural outcome of doing everything necessary to guarantee the result you're seeking. 5. The smile that signals calculated risk. Every Sigma male understands a fundamental truth. There is no growth without risk. But his risks aren't emotional impulses or desperate gambles. They're calculated, measured, strategic. And when that smile appears just before he takes the leap, it's because the numbers add up. Risk calculation for the Sigma starts with brutal honesty about what could go wrong. He stares directly at worst-case scenarios and asks, can I survive this? Not would it be uncomfortable, but can I genuinely survive it, recover, rebuild? If yes, the risk transforms from potential catastrophe into manageable experiment. Then comes the critical element, asymmetric risk-reward ratios. The Sigma isn't looking for situations where he risks $1 to make $1. He's hunting for opportunities where he risks $1 to potentially make 10 or 100. Limited, defined downside, massive, open-ended upside. Here's a practical example. A Sigma working a stable corporate job has been developing a valuable skill on the side. Conventional wisdom says, don't quit until your side project matches your salary. But the Sigma sees differently. He has 12 months of savings. His skill set keeps him employable even if the business fails. No dependence. Worst case, he tries for a year. It doesn't work. Goes back to corporate life with invaluable experience and no regrets. Best case, he builds something significant that gives him genuine freedom. The math is clear. But the Sigma doesn't just calculate and commit recklessly. He structures his risks intelligently. He tests hypotheses before fully committing resources. He builds in decision points. He maintains multiple paths to success rather than betting everything on a single outcome. When you see that smile before a Sigma takes a calculated risk, you're witnessing rigorous thinking crystallized into action. You're seeing someone who's made peace with potential failure because he knows it won't destroy him, and who's committed to potential success because he knows it's worth pursuing. This isn't blind courage, it's strategic boldness backed by careful preparation. 6. How Sigma males read the room before they move. Before a Sigma makes any significant move, he's reading the room with the precision of a grandmaster reading a chessboard. While everyone else focuses on their own agenda, the Sigma operates at a higher level, simultaneously tracking multiple people, multiple dynamics, multiple undercurrents that determine how the system actually functions. This isn't casual observation, it's strategic intelligence gathering. The Sigma asks questions others don't even know to ask. Who has actual power versus formal authority? Who defers to whom? What are the unspoken rules? What are people's real motivations beneath stated objectives? Where are the alliances, the tensions, the opportunities? He reads body language like a language he's fluent in, the micro-expressions that flash across faces, the subtle shifts in posture when certain topics arise. Who makes eye contact with whom before speaking? Who stays silent when they clearly have opinions? These aren't random details. They're the source code of social dynamics. The Sigma also identifies what's not being said. In most environments, the most important information lives in the gaps, the topics people avoid, the questions no one asks, the elephants everyone pretends aren't there. While others take conversations at face value, the Sigma is mapping the negative space. Here's a scenario. The Sigma walks into a business meeting where a major decision needs to be made. Everyone's presenting their position, but he notices something. The CEO keeps glancing at the CFO before responding. The marketing director becomes defensive when the product team speaks. Two executives who normally engage aren't making eye contact. The agenda says strategy, but the conversation keeps circling back to budget concerns. Within 15 minutes, the Sigma has decoded the real situation. This isn't actually a strategy meeting. It's a resource allocation battle. There's a cash flow issue no one's acknowledging publicly. The marketing and product teams are in conflict over a previous failure. The two silent executives already know the decision that's been made privately. Armed with this intelligence, the Sigma doesn't waste energy on the wrong battle. He doesn't present an elaborate strategy requiring unavailable resources. Instead, he offers a solution that addresses the actual problem, the unspoken budget crisis, in a way that makes him valuable rather than threatening. This is why Sigma males consistently outmaneuver people who appear more socially skilled. The extroverted alpha might dominate the conversation, but the Sigma dominates the understanding. And in the long game, understanding always beats performance. When that smile appears after the Sigma has read the room, it's because he's seen something others missed. He's identified the real game being played beneath the surface. He's spotted the opportunity everyone else is blind to. And now he's ready to move, not randomly, not reactively, but with surgical precision, based on complete situational awareness. 7. The difference between a Sigma's smile and everyone else's. On the surface, a smile is just a facial expression. But the Sigma's smile operates on an entirely different frequency than the smiles plastered across most faces. Understanding this difference reveals everything about what makes Sigma males unique. Most people's smiles are transactional. They smile to be liked, to fit in, to ease tension, to signal friendliness. These smiles are tools for social acceptance, currency traded for approval. The Sigma's smile is fundamentally different. It isn't for you. It's not performed. It's not a social strategy. It's an authentic response to internal alignment. The extroverted alpha's smile is about dominance display, wide, commanding, designed to establish hierarchy. It says, "I'm winning, acknowledge my status." It's effective, but still performance. It requires an audience. The people-pleaser's smile is about anxiety management, constant, almost apologetic, designed to preemptively diffuse conflict. It's exhausting to maintain and fundamentally dishonest because it doesn't reflect genuine emotional state. The manipulator's smile is weaponized charm. Calculated, designed to disarm and deceive. Effective short-term, but ultimately hollow. Then there's the Sigma's smile. It's rare because it's real. It appears when internal and external reality align in a way that satisfies his personal standards, not society's standards, but his own. When the pieces he's been moving quietly into position finally lock into place, when preparation meets opportunity, when calculated risk is about to pay off. This smile doesn't need an audience. A Sigma will smile the same way alone as in a crowded room, because the smile isn't about social signaling, it's about personal satisfaction. This is why it's so magnetic when others witness it. Authenticity is rare, and people sense the difference between performed emotion and genuine expression. The Sigma's smile also carries quiet confidence bordering on certainty. Not the nervous smile of someone hoping things work out, not the aggressive smile trying to intimidate. The calm smile of someone who knows what's about to happen because he's made it inevitable. Here's the practical difference. Put an average person in a high-stakes situation, and if they smile, it's usually to mask anxiety. Put an alpha in that situation, and his smile is dominance display. Put a sigma there, and if he smiles, it's because he's 3 moves ahead and he's just seen checkmate coming. You can't fake this smile. You can't manufacture it through social skills training or positive thinking. It only emerges from genuine internal state, a man who has done the work, made the calculations, prepared for the moment, and recognized that the moment has arrived. When you see this smile, you're not seeing social performance. You're seeing truth. A man aligned with his purpose, confident in his preparation, ready for whatever comes next. And that's why it commands respect in a way that performed smiles never can. It's real, and in a world drowning in fakery, real is revolutionary. 8. What comes next after a Sigma man smiles? The smile is never the ending. It's the beginning. It's the visible signal that the invisible work is complete and real action is about to commence. When a Sigma man smiles, you're not watching celebration. You're watching the calm before the storm, the brief stillness before everything changes. What comes next is execution with precision. All that preparation, strategic thinking, and patient observation now converts into decisive action. Because the Sigma has done his homework, his execution appears almost effortless. While others struggle and improvise, he moves with fluid certainty. But here's what makes this phase distinctive. The Sigma doesn't announce his moves. No grand declarations, no dramatic speeches. He simply acts. While everyone's still processing what's happening, he's already 3 steps into execution. By the time people realize something significant is occurring, he's halfway to completion. This is the advantage of operating in silence before action. When you finally move, you're moving from complete preparedness against opponents still figuring out what's happening. Speed isn't about rushing. It's about removing all friction that comes from uncertainty and doubt. The Sigma also displays remarkable adaptability. Despite all his planning, he knows no strategy survives, first contact unchanged. When unexpected obstacles appear, and they always do, he doesn't panic. He adapts, he improvises, he finds new paths to the same destination. Practical example, the Sigma launches a new venture after months of preparation. That smile appeared when everything aligned. Then he launches and immediately encounters an unanticipated problem. A competitor moves faster, a key partner backs out, market conditions shift, the amateur would freeze. The Alpha would push harder with the same failed strategy. But the Sigma, he pauses, reassesses, identifies the new pattern, adjusts his approach, and continues forward. His goal hasn't changed, just the route to get there. What also comes next is compound momentum. That first successful execution builds credibility, not social credibility, but the kind that comes from delivering results. This opens new opportunities, creates new options, generates new leverage. The Sigma doesn't rest on accomplishments. He immediately leverages this success into the next strategic position. Throughout all this, he maintains the same operational security that characterized his preparation. He doesn't brag about wins. He doesn't need to prove himself through social media. He lets results speak, and he's already moving toward the next objective, while others are catching up to the previous one. Finally, what comes after the smile is often unexpected impact on others. People who dismissed the quiet Sigma suddenly realize they underestimated him. People who wondered what he was doing with all that solitude suddenly see the output of those hidden hours. The smile was his private acknowledgement that the moment had arrived. What comes next is everyone else's realization that something significant is happening, and the Sigma is at the center of it. This is the complete cycle. Silent preparation, strategic calculation, precise execution, adaptive problem-solving, compounding results, and continuous forward motion. The smile is just the hinge point between the invisible and visible, between potential and kinetic energy. And that's why, when a Sigma man smiles, you should pay attention. Because what comes next isn't luck, isn't accident, isn't random chance. It's inevitability. It's the natural consequence of a man who knows how to prepare, when to wait, and how to execute with precision when the moment arrives. Something big is about to happen, and he's known it was coming all along. So there you have it. When a Sigma man smiles, it's never just a smile. It's the culmination of observation, strategy, self-mastery, and timing. It's the external manifestation of internal alignment so powerful it can shift the energy of an entire room without a single word. While others react emotionally, the Sigma responds strategically. While others seek validation, the Sigma validates himself through action. While others broadcast intentions, the Sigma moves in silence, and that smile is the only clue you'll get before everything changes. This is what separates Sigma males from the rest. They don't play the social game. They redesign it. They don't compete for attention. They command it through presence alone. And when they smile, something extraordinary is about to unfold. If this resonated with you, if you see yourself in these patterns, if you recognize you operate on a different frequency, then subscribe to Official Sigma Male right now. Hit that button, turn on notifications. This isn't just another channel with surface-level advice. This is your headquarters for Sigma Male Mastery. We go deep into the psychology, the strategy, the real patterns that make Sigma males the most formidable and independent men in any environment. We're building a community of men who refuse to be ordinary, who understand that true power is quiet, intentional, and unstoppable. Men who don't need external validation because they've built internal certainty. Men who smile rarely, but when they do, everyone pays attention. Subscribe right now. Join this community. Because the Sigma path isn't easy, but it's the only one worth walking. Now go out there and let your next smile mean something. Let it be the signal that you're ready, that you've prepared, that you've mastered yourself, and that what comes next is going to be absolutely unstoppable. Welcome to Official Sigma Male. Subscribe now, and let's continue this journey together. Because when you smile next, the world better be ready for what you're about to unleash.